live, please. Take some time, but that's okay. And can someone check that we are okay on the YouTube? Well, yes, we are okay. Okay, fine. So close. And then I'm just going to put this link there. We're live now, but we are 2 minutes ahead, so this is good. That way we can. I'm just going to share the YouTube link that now we know on. Okay, good morning for everyone that is connecting now. We're going to be properly connected in 1 minute. So this is the YouTube link in case for you, Filippo. Rachel here. And then okay. Okay, and then Francesco, if you want to put your webcam as well. Oh, okay, no problem. No problem. Okay, so there's no point in recording, and it's 10 o'clock, so that's it. Buongiorno. Calimera, no, cali what? What was it? Calimera, yeah, Calimera is the good one. Bon dia, buenos dias. Good morning, everyone. We're going to start right now this third congress of this European project. We're now here in Molfetta, in Italy. Very, very nice town. I recommend you all to visit if you're not here already. I'm going to just introduce first what this project is about for those of you who are starting now with EduPlat. And I'm going to share the screen so that you can see what you can see actually in your web. So if we go for eduplat.org right from the beginning, you will have everything explained here about what EduPlat is about. It's important that you have that you see that we have a platform that we're going to introduce today because we have made many modifications for that. So far, the platform is being based purely on the social networks. So we're using Facebook, we're using Twitter, we're using Instagram, we're using other social networks. And the idea is that we are helping teachers who are sharing educational resources on these networks. So this is one thing that we're doing in the educational platform. If you go to the link Fairs and Other Events, eventually you see what we're doing on a day like today. You can see the whole program if you click in the program tab. And the very first one is this Congress. So in this Congress, we're going to be talking about prototyping the transfer of educational resources. So we're going to be talking about 3 main sections that we're going to discuss later. Before that, I want just to tell you about what's going to happen after this Congress. So we have it here, amplifying the transfer of educational resources and innovative teaching practices. And this is going to be in May. The event will take place in Spain. We'll have, again, 2 full days. The most important day will be Saturday, and it's the day that we'll be sharing educational resources. And then on Sunday, we will be talking about what we can do better in EduPlat. So anyone interested in contributing for that is more than welcome to come. You can also see the first 2 congresses, the Educational Resources and Innovative Teaching Practices in Language Teaching is a congress that took place in Águeda in Portugal in December last year. So that, as the name says, was a congress that was specific to share resources to do with language teaching. 1 month later, in January 2003, we had another congress in Athens that was about sharing resources related to gamification. So going back to the congress that we now, you click on detailed information poster, is all the information about what's going to happen today. And also, you can download the poster. This is still possible for people to join. And when people join automatically, they're going to have an email sent that has a link to the site and eventually a link to all of these links that you can use to connect. We'll talk about that later. But if you are, if you can hear me and you are watching me, it's because you've already clicked on one of them. It's very important that the event is also on LinkedIn. So if you have a LinkedIn account, please go ahead and click on this link so that you can join the event in LinkedIn and maybe share some information. Same thing with Facebook, and then eventually to in all social networks. Remember that we are here in Bufeta. There is many of us here, 12 around this table. 12 because the 13 is the unlucky number for some people, but for some it's actually the lucky number. But there are many more that are online. The main way that you have to interact is through the social network. So please click on where I have a mouse. If you're not following social networks, do so. Remember that for most social networks, we don't have just one account. We have different accounts in different languages. So we have one account in English, one account in Portuguese, one account in Greek, one account in Italian, and one account in Spanish. So that's 5 accounts for most social networks. You may join more than one, and obviously try to tag us in whatever language you're using. Now, eventually, if you are listening to us now through the YouTube channel and you have premium access, then make sure that you check your emails because you also have access to the Zoom. Then it will be a little bit better to interact. Okay. Now, eventually, we'll tell you about what's going to happen. That is, if you are listening to me in English and you're finding it difficult, you can use this link here, translate.it, IT for Italy, but it's translate it. Yeah? Now, if you click on this link, eventually what's going to happen is that you're going to have a page that is going to ask you for a code. So I need a code, and the code is H for hotel, W for whiskey, Z for Zulu, A for alpha, and E for echo. If anyone in the chat could please post it in the chat in Zoom, and repeat H for hotel, W for whiskey, Z for Zulu, A for alpha, E for echo. If anyone around this table could also post the same link in the YouTube channel, then it will be easy. So just put translate.it and then you can use this code. Now I'm going to say this in other languages just in case people cannot understand that. But obviously it's not going to be translated because I will say different. I'm actually going to say just in Spanish, and then other people will say their languages. Si me estás escuchando en español y no entiendes el inglés bien, lo que hemos dicho es que puedes ir a una página que está aquí, translate.it, y con el código este que es HWZAE, podrás traducirlo en el idioma que quieras. Tendrás subtitulado en los idiomas que quieras. So now that was in Spanish. Who can do that in Portuguese? One of you two girls, can you get microphone and say the same thing in Portuguese? It's not working. So okay, well, if it's not working, then what's the point? Yeah. Now we're gonna check later. Filippo here is gonna try to reinstall it, but eventually it will work. Okay. So we will give you more information now. So what's gonna happen today? We are already here at the start. We are on time. Some people will be connecting a little bit. Once we finish this introduction, we're gonna have the introduction and the presentation of the first section of this Congress, one of the aims. We're going to be introducing the prototype of the new platform that we have built. And this is very interesting. I told you that up to today, we've been working purely using social media. We're going to continue doing that. But from today, there's going to be a possibility for everyone to create an account in EduPlat and put in the platform your resources. We're going to show you how to do it. We're going to show you how this platform works. But remember, we're not telling everyone in the world about this. This Congress is about people that are interested in giving us feedback. So please do that. Please give us feedback. You can do that sending an email to the email that you receive when you register, But you can also give us feedback in the workshop that is going to happen this afternoon regarding this prototype platform. Okay, and about 11:30, it might be a little bit flexible. We'll have the second main presentation that will last also about an hour, and it's a presentation about the templates. Okay, this presentation is about some templates that we have created to help any teacher that wants to share educational resources do in a way that is a little bit easier. Okay, so remember that our mission at EduPlat is to help you teachers find resources, but also you teachers share your resources with other teachers. And then finally at 12:30, so finally this morning at 12:30, again for about an hour, we'll have a presentation of the selected educational resources that were presented in previous congresses. We had many. We had many presented, remember, in Portugal regarding resources for teaching languages, and then in Athens, in Greece, resources that were related to gamification. So many teachers have been using them. Some teachers have been not just using them, but also creating some presentations about what they think about these resources. It's a good opportunity to well, first to have the summary, but also to see what these teachers feel about how you can actually improve that. And we're not just talking about a few resources, but we're talking about the idea of that EduPlat being a platform in which we share resources. That is not just about using something and not giving feedback. It's also about giving a little bit of feedback so that the teacher or the teachers who created that resource can think, oh yeah, that's true. If I use this resource in a different way, maybe I can adapt it to students that are maybe younger or maybe weaker in these skills or whatever. Okay, so we want to give you an example of what you can do eventually once we have many resources in the platform. At 1:30, and remember we are doing times in Central European time because we're here in Italy, so it's the same time in Spain, and it's 1 hour less in Portugal, 1 hour more in Greece, and then obviously you probably know the time if you are in other places of the world. We'll have a break, and then it will be a good time if you're online to have lunch, but also disconnect from all of this. Maybe you can use that time to go in the social media and then see what other people are doing and interact with them. At 3:30, again, Central European time, we'll start 3 workshops at the same time. Now, the workshops are on the 3 main topics that we're going to be discussing this Congress, the same ones that we had the presentation this morning. We'll have workshops to do with the platform prototype, and so that's the first section. We'll have a workshop related to the template building, and we'll have a workshop related to the testing of the educational resources. Now, the main one that is going to happen this afternoon is the one in the middle, and is the one that everyone that is here in Italy, apart from the ones that are going to be leading the workshops, are going to participate. But you're more than welcome to connect. And if you want to connect to this one, just stay in the Zoom channel if you're in Zoom, or stay in the YouTube channel if you are on YouTube. Because this workshop, we're going to try to transmit it on those channels. Now, at the same time, and it's very, very important, ideally you should choose one workshop and stay through the workshop the whole time. But at the same time, there's going to be the other 2 that this afternoon are going to be secondary workshops. So, for example, the first one, you can ask questions about the prototype. You can get help to, say, create an account, to publish a resource, or you can also give feedback about what you think and how you think the platform could be done better. The people that were working on this are here with me now, Alejandro, and Alejandro is the one that is going to be probably leading that workshop. And then Ruben is going to be here presenting that platform again. So you have a chance to talk to the programmers who actually build a prototype and ask them about how to use that prototype better, and also give them suggestions about how that can be done better. Remember, this is a prototype. We are learning, and we learn better if we get feedback. Regarding the third main workshop, Okay, the second secondary workshop is the main one, is the one in the middle. It's about testing educational resources. So then that workshop is a great opportunity for you to also communicate about other resources that you have selected from previous educational, from previous congresses, and also other resources that you might want to present and or give feedback to. Remember that if you are interested in presenting an educational resource that has not been presented in the past congresses, you will be able to do that in the Congress in Zaragoza, whether you come to Zaragoza or you do it online. Okay? So this is what is going to be happening in the early afternoon. And then later in the afternoon, basically is the same. And you can either, if you are doing the main one, I've been told that ideally you should stay there from 3:30 till the very end, because then that way you can follow the workshop better. But if you're online, you can pop in and out as much as you want. Obviously, it's better to know what's happening if you stay in the same one. But if you do the other two, then it might be a good opportunity for you to change, to swap over, because 5 o'clock, during 5 p.m. this afternoon in Central European time, the same workshops will happen and with the same links that I'm going to tell you later how to access. Okay, so you say, for example, you want to do the platform early and then do the testing educational resources later, that's okay. And then you can swap. Now, what's going to happen tomorrow? Because tomorrow also we have the Congress, and we have at 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll have the same workshops as I just explained, but this time it will be reversed. So the main two workshops that will happen for everyone that is here, that is not leading the workshop, are the two, like the first one and the third one. Okay, it will be a combination of the two, and the one in the middle mainly will be a presentation. And then for that one, you will see the links later. Okay, and then finally, that was from 10 to 11:30. At 11:30, we'll do the final presentations of the prototype version / with the feedback that we have obtained during the Congress. And same thing for the template, and same thing for the testing, the idea of the testing. Okay, and eventually, once we do that, we will close for the online participants, but we will have to have a big break, and eventually we'll do, we'll have lunch and everything. Okay. I told you about the downloading the poster. If you haven't done that, you can do this now, and you can do share in your social media. And then finally, last but not least, because this is important, links to connect. I've already explained about the social media. But now, basically, if you are following me now, you're probably either on Zoom or you're using the YouTube channel. But as soon as we start with the workshops, then we have one specific channel for each of the workshops when they are the secondary, remember? So they're going to be in Skype. So, for example, this afternoon, during the whole afternoon, there will be a Skype channel open all the time for anyone interested in getting help from using the platform that we're going to and also give some feedback. Okay, so all that you have to do eventually, you will be click on this link. The moment is probably going to be nobody there, so don't do that now, please. But then as soon as we start the workshops, someone will be there, probably giving you the help that you need. Now, the second one, remember that during this afternoon, we're not going to use the Skype channel because this is the main workshop, and we're going to be transmitting it like we're doing now with Zoom and YouTube. And then, but this link is there because tomorrow morning, it will be the link that we will use, okay? And then finally, the same thing for the last one. We have another link for another Skype room in which and you can discuss and ask questions about this final part, okay? Remember that if you go there and you don't see any activity to any of the workshops, this Congress, we've invited anyone that wants to attend, but it's mainly for people that have already shown an interest in EduPlat. And there might not be many people for this Congress, not too many people. If at the time that you join any of these workshops, there is nobody there, just leave a message and eventually will be replied. Okay? And this is it. And remember that this Congress is still open for teachers that want to participate, and anyone that wants to come to Italy is more than welcome. Or if you're very far away, that would be difficult. But you can still register following this link or the equivalent link in your language. And if you tell your friends to do that and they do it, they're going to get an email within seconds that is going to give them access to the YouTube channels. Eventually, will be able to follow. Okay. Obviously, if you want to participate a little bit more actively, remember that you can use the social media to do that. And then through the email that you use when you register, we'll keep you updated on the other congresses that we're going to do. You know already about the next one in May in Spain, but there will be much more in the future. And through that email, we'll be able to give you ideas of what is happening. Okay? So this is all from me now. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. It's been a pleasure to be talking to you. I'm going to give space to Alejandro and Ruben, who are sharing that computer now, where you can see them both at the same time. And then from now onwards, if you want to share your screen and show them what you have built, and eventually, if we have some time left, there will be time for questions. But remember that if you have many questions and many suggestions, that we have the workshop specifically for that. Okay, so that's all. I'm going to stop my microphone and let others use theirs.
Hello, my name is Ruben. I'm part of the programming team that just developed the prototype that we are going to show you today. Alejandro, hello. And he's Alejandro. We are trying to do a prototype of a tool that is going to allow teachers and all the educational community to share things, which is my special thing to what we have to do. Just try to give to the other people the opportunity to find resources that they can use in the classroom, but as well for the families and as well for the students. They can find things, they can find any kind of special resource that they can use to learn a little bit more, even in any kind of level of education. So what we're trying to do is like a repository, like to do a big place where you can find any resource for any level, for any kind of discipline. And it's really what we were doing right now in social media, but in a platform that we can have, you know, our own login. We can have it centralized, and in this way, it's going to be able even to share your own user account. I mean, you know, for example, people sharing usually their Facebook page, like if they were their own page. Why not to share your EduPlat page? So you can have there all your social media or the contributions that you've done to the community and share it with everybody. So that's the main thing that we are trying to do here. And right now you can see in the screen I'm sharing that we don't have a .org or .com thing. So you can see some numbers here. You can try it at home. This 13.39.99.41. It's for now our URL. Later on, we are going to have a proper URL, and we are going to be able to come to this program through the normal URL that you're going to find in eduplat.org. But right now, because we are testing, we are using it in that way. And we are testing it because we need your feedback. So our main goal now is just show us what we've done, and we expect you to give us enough feedback so we can do a platform that not only is liked by us, but you like as well, because you are going to contribute to this platform, to do this platform a little bit better. So thank you very much for listening to that and to trying to play with it. You're not going to break it, so just do anything that you want with the platform. We are in test mode, so test it with us and say to us what's going on, what you like, what you don't like, what you think it's going to improve it. And we are going to be very grateful if you help us. And we need the teachers and the community students and everyone to say their thing. And especially whatever that you think it's going to be difficult for you or you don't really like it in the way it is, just say it to us because you are going to do us a big favor. I'm going to show you a little bit what we done here.
Okay, really sorry if you don't mind interrupting you.
Of
Very,
course.
very important. As Ruben is going to explain you everything, you can do two things. You can either just listen and take notes and to see what's going on, or if you like multitasking, you could also open a web browser with address and you just follow and try to play with it. Now, this is only if you really like multitasking. My suggestion is that you probably just listen, follow, because remember there's going to be workshops and we're going to discuss that, okay? And there's going to be workshops in which we're going to ask everyone participating to create an account and to publish some educational resources. Because remember, we need to populate this page with teachers, with people, and also with resources that we are sharing, okay? But you don't need to do it now. And now also another comment that's important. Now, this address, as Ruben told you, the 133999.41 is obviously provisional. We're not publishing it yet because we want like a relatively small family like you. Anyone listening to this Congress is more than welcome to test it and to do and to provide feedback. But we will publish it at eduplat.org, like the main page that you have visited many, many times, and then you can see what's going on. And also important, when Ruben was talking about your page, he's going to show you, it's interesting that, you know, we have a portfolio in social media, like, I'm proud of it, and we want to have many followers, and this is good. EduPlat, in its mission to share resources, is going to be, you know, we are a community, obviously dedicated to helping teachers and the teachers helping students. But this way is a way that you can show that you're actually doing your work better. And I'm very, very sure that very soon, many schools are going to say, oh, well, tell me about your EduPlat account. And if you can prove that you are doing and you know, you are working for the community, that you have good resources, and that many people are using those, then we want you more in our school. And the good thing is that obviously this is going to happen in the future, but the future starts right now, and you can be leading that future. So this is a great opportunity for everyone in this Congress to be, the beginning. Like I haven't even created an account myself yet, so you have a chance to do that at the same time. Like, you know, there's very, very few people that have managed to create accounts so far. We all can do that now, today, okay? Thank you, Ruben.
Thank you, Alvaro. Okay, well, I'm going to show you, if you're not looking at it in your own computer, I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to go slow so you don't get dizzy. Okay, and here we have some resources. This is the last resources that people have published. They are going to be, some of them are in Spanish because they are published in Spanish, but you can do it in any language that you want, because in the search later on, you can choose even the language or any language. Just it's going to show you everything, or choose your own language. But because we are the Spanish team, you know, some things here in Spanish. What you can see is that you see the resources, you see what kind of resources. For example, this Don Quixote de la Mancha is arts, and you can see it's a YouTube link, some description around, and the date that it was published. I think it's important that you choose. Some people like to see a video, some people just like to read and see a website, so you can choose that. And even there is PDFs that you can share without any problem. And later on, you know, you have some categories that we are putting now, that probably is the most used now. You're going to find out that there is not much resources because we are starting and we need you to put resources. So right now it's a little bit empty. It's like going to YouTube at the first, second day of YouTube when there was only 10 videos in YouTube. So that's going to happen to you. You are going to search things and probably you're going to say, well, there is nothing. Yeah, I know it's nothing, but try again next year and you are going to see hundreds and hundreds of things. So right now it's like that. And I have a key here in the middle, two small searches, one search by levels, and you have a key, you have here the educational levels. They are the most common. We tried here just to make the definition of levels available to be the same in all languages. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult because in each country they use different ways to name the levels. But this is a recommendation of an international association. So we think any country and any language is going to understand it and find it useful. And I can check, for example, what I have in lower second education. Wow, this is the things for this level. So you can search by level. And you can search as well by category, or how we can call it is like disciplines. So you have here arts, ICT, which is technology and computers and things like that, languages, maths, natural science. So why not? I'm going to see if there is something in maths. Okay, two things in maths. One that is not in maths because someone put it in maths, but it's not. And things about algebra. So that's a way. And if you are seeing this small icon here, that means I'm not logged in. Even not being logged in, I'm able to find anything in this platform. That's important. You need to create an account to use the platform. But of course, you need to create an account to contribute to the platform and to take the most of it. And I recommend it because you're going to have double the fun. So I'm going to sign up. I'm going to use my account. Right now, I cannot use Google until I take out these numbers and we have a proper URL. But I have my email here as well. If you're watching my email, you can use it to tell me anything that you need. Let me check if I can write properly. I'm not going to show you the password. Okay, so now I'm logged in. I have here different things. And right now it's working a little bit like a social network. So I have here messages. Who send me messages? I don't have alarms. So, well, I have messages, but anything important, I have an alarm. So what's the alarm? Someone had valued my profile. Someone said something nice about me. I hope it's nice. If it's not nice, I don't have to accept it. I can reject it and take it out, which is, I think it's important. And that we can have nice comments, but we can filter if we don't want them to say anything about us. It's not like this is not Twitter. We cannot put comments on people without they allowing it. So I can reject it or I can allow it. In fact, it's saying nice things about me. So I'm going to accept it. And it's going to be later on in my profile, which is going to be here. This is my profile and this is my main page. And that page, I can use it like my social page. Why not? I have all my social networks here, which I can edit, take out, put out. I have what people is saying about me. I have my contributions. So really, the main goal for us is that you like that and you can use it and put it, why not, in your email signature, like your page. So that will be a very nice thing because you're going to have everything that you do here and your about me section. And you're going to see that there's a small thing here, which is karma. And why my label is publication hunter? Well, because I'm the creator. So I put myself a lot of points, okay? You're going to start probably with 0 points, but anytime that you do a login, you're going to win points. More importantly, you're going to be winning karma points anytime that you do a publication, anytime that you share something, anytime that you value something to someone else, anytime that you say nice things to the teachers and your colleagues. And karma points are going to allow you to do more things in the platform. For example, change your page, the colors of your page, things like that. It's a little bit a gamification. And we are very proud of gamification, and we are going to have even here a workshop about gamification. So we are going to use gamification. And where are the resources? How are the resources presented? Okay, I can show you my resources, but I think the meta thing is that we use the Finder. As you can see, I can publish resource, but right now we are going to look for resources. This is the main search thing. So here you can put what do you want to learn today, or you can choose, for example, users and be trying to find a user. For example, I know that there is a guy called Ruben, which is basically because it's me. And here I am. So I have here how many resources I published, how many valorations I have, and my data. So you can watch, for example, a lot of people put the words professor in their profile. So a lot of professors here. And it's easy to find people. Of course, as well, it's easy to find resources. So we are going to find resources. Like, for example, anything on maths. Hey, here things about maths. This, in fact, is in Italian. So right now I'm searching in any language, but I can just make the search a little bit more narrow, choosing a specific language, because sometimes you don't want to see resources in English or in any other language. You want it in your own language. So you can search that. Why not? Anything that you are going to be searching is going to be in a list here, so you can reuse it later, which sometimes is very useful. And you can search as well in the categories, you know them, in labels, you know them, and in small words that we call themes, but it's very similar to hashtags, things that people put in the resources just to market. So you can watch for any kind of resources. I don't know if I have something in English. Yes, verbos irregulares in English, irregular verbs in English for Spanish. So you can watch the resources. How are the resources done? Or how they look like? I'm going to click on one, and you're going to find that. I have here a lot of data, some faces, happy face or sad face, so you can evaluate your resource. If I evaluate right now, you know that it's not going to be immediately, because they have to allow this guy, which is called M. Sanchez Isti, is not publishing his name. It's just publishing his username. Let's see who is that. And that's the main page. You see, there is no name. If you remember, my name was visible, but she, I guess, decided not to show their name. Why not? You have to, if you want to preserve your privacy, why not doing it? If you only want to put a username like in Twitter and not show the rest of the world your real name, you can do it without any kind of problem. Okay. And she has resources. Okay. So I'm going to value, because I suppose I read it as well, and really useful. And of course, it's not going to be reflected here until she accepts it. Okay, I have two options with the resources: visit the page where the resource is published, or show it. So I'm going to show it in my own platform here. I'm going to be showing some resources are not allowing that. You can when you are doing a web page, you can say people, I don't want them to put it anywhere. So that's why the visit button is going to be, and we are going to be able to be watching the page that they share. We can value the resource, we can say if it's useful, and even later on, we are going to put it in a collection. What is that? That's going to be our next goal, is to be able to create collections where we can, for example, organize everything that we are interested on. It's like in Spotify when you do your own music list. So I'm going to do my list of resources. You can do it in any way that you want, but sometimes it's very useful, organize it by any specific subject that you have. For example, math second grade, all my list of resources for maths second grade is going to be really useful for people, for teachers that are looking for these kind of things. And they need ideas to share in the classroom. And it's going to be really good when people start to publish their own collections, which is going to be implemented very, very, very soon. And anything else is really implemented now, so you can watch any kind of resource. If you watch, for example, a video resource, like, I don't know, this is in YouTube. Okay. And I show it, it's going to be in my screen, but because it's a YouTube, you can open it anywhere. Okay, let's see this video. Yeah. Okay, here we are. So this is the main goal of our. It's not a one. Watch it in YouTube. You know that sometimes when you change countries, in some countries it's able to be reproduced. In some countries it's not. And now we are going to show you what's the main thing, which is to create a resource. So we are going to publish a resource. Let's imagine that is something that I found there that I like. Probably the same one, because I'm not going to be able right now to be watching all this one. Let me copy, Control C, view the results. You can put it here. And when I click continue, it's going to show me all the, it's a little bit slow, the connection right now. Or the computer is not yet, it's blocked, mistake. Are you watching me correctly?
Yes.
Because my computer is not.
Try again.
The mouse is.
Or maybe copy again.
No, it's not that. It's just my connection just died. So
Okay.
Refresh the effect.
let's try to refresh, because no, I don't have connection right now.
Okay, if you want to.
Let's see if we are live again.
If you want, while you sort, I have a few comments to make. So if you want to sort that out,
and then I make a few comments.
Okay, back for everyone, very important, yeah? So now, Ruben has been telling us about all of this platform, well, not everything, but he's going through it. Now, remember that we need feedback. So there are many types of feedback that we need, okay? Remember there are many ways. The best way is to provide feedback through email. And if you are watching this, especially future, then that's the only way. Remember that you have also the workshops. And remember that if you have an email that you contact, the best one is always the one through your registration email. That is, when you register, you receive an email from the team that is leading. Say, for example, if you are from Portugal and you register in the Portuguese side, then eventually you can send an email to that team, and then those teams will forward it to us. Right? Now, it's also important that there are other ways to give feedback. Say, for example, that you see the list of levels and you don't think they are appropriate for your country, or they're not appropriate for any other country, then that's a type of feedback that you need to send to us, the organizers, directly. You say, for example, you find that there is one specific resource that is not in the right category, then the best person to give that feedback is directly to the teacher or to the person that published that resource. If there is, for example, a link not working on one specific resource, then again, the best person to contact to give feedback is directly to the person that sent that, that published that resource. If, say, for example, there is one link that is not working, but it's not from one specific resource, but it's within that website, then again, the organizers, through that email or in the workshop, if you're doing that today, will be best. Okay. Now, remember that when you provide feedback, the idea is that we are collaborating, the idea is that we're helping. And this is one of the reasons why we publish the either accept or reject when that feedback is being published. So if you say, if you give some feedback that is constructive criticism, in my opinion, you should do it directly as a private message. And as Ruben explained to you, there is a possibility for you to do that. If, say, for example, that I publish a resource and there is something wrong with it, or you think there is some constructive feedback that you want to give me, I'm going to read that message, but I'm not going to let it publish, because I don't want people to see all the things I do bad. I do many things bad, and I don't want to publish all of those. But if you give me an email, a direct email, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to reply, I'm going to say, thank you, I've learned a lot from what you've done and what you've told me, and then there is a connection. So this is very important, and when you provide feedback, you know who to connect and how. If you do that with me, for example, I'm going to reply, and I love any type of feedback. But then if you want to put a reference or feedback that is going to be public, then it should be all nice, because otherwise people are not going to want to accept that it's going to be published in the profile. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. Anyway, think Ruben is ready now to continue.
Yeah, I was just refresh everything. So we connected again. So let's try if right now I have a proper connection here. Okay, and it's giving me, it's trying to fill all the gaps. So it detected the language is Italian. I detected a title. Of course, people can change everything that they want. They even detect the author of the link. And of course, it's not being going to be able to detect the level. You are going to do that. So of course, you are sharing something that you know what you are sharing. It's not my case because I'm just trying to share something random from the internet. But so I'm going to say it's upper secondary education. I don't really know. And the category, I know it's something about maths. So I'm going to show maths. What happens when I pick maths? There is some subcategories that are going to be filled in. So you have to choose one of these subcategories. You have lots of choosing here. Some linear algebra, logic, number theory. This is geometry, so I'm going to go to geometry. Why not? And because I read it that, and I know it's going to be, I don't know, I haven't read it, but let's imagine Analítica del Plano, for example, okay, but you can put something else here, like analytics or whatever you want, because this is going to be free labels. You can put whatever you think is going to help people to find, okay? There is some image that the program captured from internet. I don't know if it's any, there's no more images, so you can load one from the disk if you don't like the image that it found. Or sometimes it finds a lot more images from the web page. It's not the case. And you can save it or create another. So this one is okay. So I'm going to save it and see it. And it's already published in my account. So my account, which I'm Ruben, already published another thing. And because I'm logged in, I have a button here, which is edit or delete. Sometimes you want to delete it because you make a mistake, made a mistake, or sometimes, and this is very important to understand, we're sharing links from internet. And internet is an alive organism, and sometimes some things that you are sharing disappear. And we want people to be able to advise about that, because they cannot have a lot of resources not working because the links expired or because they are not there anymore. You can edit it and change everything else that you did before, so exactly in the same page. And that way you are going to be able to share resources. If I'm going to Ruben Serra profile, come on internet, thank you. Here we are with the things that I shared, and this one, Geometria Analítica in Italian, already shared as well by myself. Even if myself is in Spanish, I can share in any language, and people is going to find it when they look for it, looking in Italian or looking for Geometria Analítica in any language, and they are going to be able to use that. Or they can, as you know, look it for level or look for everything related to maths. So that's the main thing. And right now, what we need is to populate it. We need it used not only in the workshops, but in your home or wherever you can to create an account. When you create an account, you're going to be able to modify it. You're going to see these small pencils. So you're going to be able to modify it as well. So I can change my name, for example, take out the accent, and it's going to be reflected in your account. When you create your account is going to be really, really mute. It's not going to be much things there. So you have to put you're about me, you're going to share your social media that you want to share and decide if you want it private, keep it private, add more social media, take out social media that you put, or phones or emails, okay? So you're going to be able to have here all your contact details, so people is going to find you because you are using that as your main web page with all the comments that people made about you and all the resources that you share about you. This is the main thing. You have another search here, which you can use in the same way that you use the main search. And you can see you can search resources, search collections that is going to be working really soon, and search users that will publish resources. So you can do anything about that. And in your profile, you can see your account. So you're going to be you're going to be looking at my personal data, which right now is fake. I'm prepared for that. So hackers of the world, don't try to hack me. It's nothing there really interesting. This is your setup. So you have here your data that you can change or decide to keep private. As you know, if I don't keep it private, people is going to see that I'm called Ruben Serrabiosa. But if you keep it private, they are going only to see someone called R. Serrabi. I can put my picture, change my picture. I'm not going to put on the camera because I'm in Zoom now, and I think I'm going to mess everything if I put the camera on. But I can choose a picture from, well, no, wow, I like to mess things, so why not? It's not working, of course. I know that is too much. Sharing a screen and sharing camera and using the camera as well. So this is something that you cannot do when you're on Zoom. So you have here your phones, your contact details, everything that you want. You have here your setup, but you can check what you want private, what you don't want private, and you can change your password, your valuation, sorry, and your resources, where you can edit any resource that you have. So you're going to have everything organized, so you can find everything that you ever did here, change it, delete it, and update it. So you have all the control of everything that you did before. You can find anyone here. In the future, I want to put a search for as well educational institutions. So you're going to be found your colleagues, all colleagues from other institutions, which I think is really important, and to be able to not just to share, but to find people that is working with you or that you want to work with you, no? So that's something that is also important. And I hope you really like this program. We're really excited. This is a thing that it takes a lot of work, but it's done with really joy, because it's something that it's not going only to help, but it's going even it makes me happy. What can I say? It makes me happy to be able to have a tool like that to share with everybody. And I hope you enjoy it a lot. I hope you make it grow and you help us to make it grow. And thank you very much for this hour of talking about a software program. But I really hope you like it. And please use it, enjoy it, try to break it, say everything that you find, everything that you like, everything that you want to improve. And we are going to try to do our best to make this platform the platform of all the community. It's not ours, it's for all of us. So you are part of the programmer team as well. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Ruben and Alejandro, for that great work that you've done. I've seen it through the history of making it. They were working like on a race, and I've been impressed every single time that you've been presenting with with how much they have managed to accomplish. But remember, as Ruben says, this is the program, the platform is something that is for everyone and is part of everyone. So if we don't start populating it, we don't start breaking it, as Ruben says, and it's an interesting word, I like it. It's the idea that, you cannot really break it unless you're a hacker and you're very good. What you can do is you can do little things that don't work, and then eventually provide us with the feedback. The idea is that you should not be worried about doing something that is going to be bad, because this will mean that we're all learning. That's the main idea. Now, very interesting. Ruben showed you how you can publish a resource using just a link. And this is important. In the platform, the way we've done it, we try to simplify. There are already many platforms that can post your data. There are many platforms that you can publish documents, that you can publish files, you can publish pictures, that you can publish videos, and all of those. I'm just going to mention a few. For example, you have Google Drive, you have Dropbox, you have certainly all your social media. At the end of the day, EduPlat, we've been helping you, teachers who are sharing resources, by reposting your media, by making comments, etc. This is a little bit of much of the same. If you have already published, say, one resource on say, for example, Twitter, then Twitter gives you one URL, one address of where that resource is your post. All that you have to do is copy and paste. If you have a video on YouTube, for example, then you can just copy and paste that. And the good thing, the way the program is being done, is that, as Ruben showed you, you can actually, you don't need to put all the data because the program recognizes some of what is already published. And all that you have to do is just make sure that everything is done. Just like, you know, when you do your tax return, that most of it is done. And then eventually you just file it through, same thing. So we're trying to help you help other teachers by publishing your resources. Okay, now we have a few minutes before we take a very, very short break. If anyone around this table or anyone in the Zoom meeting wants to say any comment or ask any question, now is a good time. I have many questions, so I want other people to participate as well. Maybe I should have said that earlier, so you guys were preparing your questions. Maybe I put you much in surprise. I can see Alessandra over there, like thinking about, oh, what am I going to say? Is Alvaro going to pick me up? Well, yes, I have. So you might as well just pick up your microphone and make a comment if you want. Okay. Let's see. I'm just checking if there is any comments from people that are following on the YouTube. Anyway, they're just little comments. You can also use the chat. Remember, use the chat either if you're using the Zoom channel or the YouTube videos, that there is some sort of collaboration. Yeah. There is a comment on Zoom now. Okay, so let me see if. Okay, yeah. Well, thank you, Maria. Just to say, Maria, it sounds amazing. I can't wait to start using you. Well done. Now, very important. I really thank you, Maria, for putting this comment. Remember, this is a comment that we're happy to read it here publicly, but it's a comment that you can also say aloud. And remember, there is going to be this channel of feedback so that you can tell us about constructive criticism, things that you feel that are not working well, that we prefer you to do it either in the workshops or by email, as I explained to you. You just replying the email that you use when you registered. But if you have a comment like the one Maria Martinez is just made, you can also post that in the social media, because at the end of the day, there's many people are working in this project, and we all get more motivation to work harder and to do more things when people publish these nice things. This happens to you as teachers, this happens to your students, this happens to everyone. So the more interesting comments like that you publish the social media, the better.
Okay? Thank you very much, Maria. You made my day.
Yeah, and she just published that she's going to do it over there as well. Okay, so while you are thinking about your questions, I'm going to ask a few questions to Ruben and Alejandro. Now, in your platform, in the prototype that you built there, you said that, for example, we have like at the moment we have a number, this 13, 39, 99, 41, which, by the way, I published in the comments. So if you want to start trying and start, testing it, just go ahead. It's in the comments. But when do you think we're going to be able to integrate this with EduPlat.org? When do you think this may happen?
I hope in the next week.
In the next week?
Or even in the next days, because right now I'm in Italy, but as soon as I arrive home, we're going to try to implement it in the page that we already have in EduPlat.org. We are going to put for the moment, and we are going to put it in the menu, in the main menu of the main page, and you're going to find the platform there. And later on, we are going to be able to have our own name and domain. But for now, we are going to do it like that, so everybody is going to be able to test it without having to write 1399, which is really nasty. That's why we invented the .com and .org, because when you write google.com, it really goes to a number like that. That's what we call IP. But it's nasty and it was not really useful. So internet people invented the names, the domain names, and that's what we're going to put here, a domain name. But for now, we are going to integrate it in the eduplat.org that we already use.
Okay, thank you, Ruben. I'm really, really happy to hear this news, because what happens, as you know, in just a couple of weeks, we're going to have a big congress, and again, we're going to be sharing resources. Remember that Saturday is going to be about sharing resources Many of them will be able to be shared like in the Congress in Portugal and the Congress in Greece. And that is, if you remember that if you are interested in sharing your resources in this last Congress of this European project, all that you have to do is send an email or reply the email that you got when you register and tell that person, please, I would like to publish this resource and show them the link. Now, you can do that in the same way that you did it in Portugal, in the same way that you did it in Greece, those of you who did that. But ideally, what we want you to do is before you send that email, try the platform. So try to go create an account and publish this resource there, because that way will be an opportunity for us to see more how it's going, for us to see your resource, for other teachers to start using it even before the Congress and give you some feedback. And by the time that you want to say, okay, I also want to publish it in the Congress, because in the Congress you can actually talk about it. Remember that we'll have round tables and people will be asking you questions. And then it's a good opportunity to get more immediate feedback. So still go ahead and volunteer to publish in the Congress. But if you do that, it means that it's easier for us to grow within the platform. Ruben is putting his hand up. Yeah, go
One
ahead.
important thing that I'm just trying to, I'm watching that some people is trying to do it already, and you're going to receive when you do a sign up and you create an account, you're going to receive you're going to see a message that says you are going to receive an email to confirm. Don't worry about that, because we are not sending emails because we don't have a domain. So we cannot send you an email from a direction. This is going just to be these couple of days until we have our own domain. So right now, we are not going to confirm email is yours. Just you, after you created your account, you already can go in. Okay. This is, I know it's not safe, but it's for us, it's for a small community, because in a couple of days, this is going to be restricted. And then, of course, we are going to check that email belongs to you. And you're going to be able to respond to an address, a random address, just to check that you are yourself. For now, it's not necessary. So you create your account and immediately you can go inside with the password and the email that you used. Okay. Just a quick note for that. Everything that is about emails, like for example, recovering your password, you have a link there for recover your password. But again, I'm not going to be able to change to send you emails from a number address. So don't try to lose it for a couple of days.
Thank you, Ruben. Very important. Remember that we wanted you to give us feedback about things that are not working, but we already told you there are two things that are not working, and we know about them, but they are a little bit more complicated to fix. So one thing is the fact that the access through the Google account is not working. So we know that it's not working. It will work in the future. And then the other thing is the email, the automatic emails. So eventually, once you send, once this speaks, when you create an account, you will have an email sent to you to say, yes, you have created an account, go ahead, do it. As Ruben just told you, all you have to do is, once you've created the account, just go ahead and do it without actually having to wait for that email to receive. Now I've got blocked there when I was testing the prototype. And so in fact, I have created an account, but I haven't used it yet because I got blocked and said, well, I'm just wait for the email to come. And because I have many other things to do and this email didn't come, obviously I haven't used it again. So now I'm going to use what Ruben has said, and I'm going to go ahead and use the account and publish the sources. Obviously, it's more important that I don't forget my password, because if you forget your password, you cannot retrieve it until the system works. Okay.
Just a quick note to say that it's already implemented. So as soon as we have a .org.com thing, Google is going to work. Google just is going to send a message that is not going to be able to work in a address that is not defined. It's not a high-level domain. So that's why Google is not working. I didn't take it out basically because tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, Monday, when I arrive back to my home, it's going to be working. So for now, just create a normal account with your email and your password. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no, please don't lose your password. But anyway, if you lose your password, you can now it's going to be working really fast. You can lose your password in 4 days from now, you're going to be able to lose it.
Okay, so the other possibility is like, you know, if your memory is really bad, I mean, if it's as bad as mine, for example, my memory is very bad, but I can get it for 3 days. So basically, by the time I forget my password, then this system is going to be working, and then it will work. Okay. Now, please, if you have any comments, anyone around the table, remember we want to let's try to talk them. Yeah, let's comments. Anyone? Yeah. You can go live. You can go live. And, yeah. Okay. So, okay. Remember. Okay. Okay. So.
The good thing is we are going to have a workshop, so we're going to be able to work it together and see how it's working. And all of this input is really going to be very important because things that are not really intuitive, it's really a thing that we have to fix, because our main thing is to make an interface that is going to be useful for everybody and for any age and for any knowledge of IT. So thank you very much for testing it. And later on, I'm going to help you there. I'm going to help everybody, and Alejandro is going to be helping you online. So any question that you have while you are testing our platform in the workshop, we are going to be able to help you with that.
Maybe you can also add a section for sort of forum in the platform where so teachers can exchange ideas according to a specific topic. Or maybe they can also exchange their contact in order to let schools be in contact. I mean, for example, as I've made a snail mail exchange between 2 schools, they can use this section in order to exchange addresses. So what do you think?
Okay. That's really interesting.
Be useful.
That's always is useful. That's really interesting. Yeah.
Mm.
That's a thing that we can of course, all the recommendations that you are going to be giving us, we are going to have to check how much difficulty it has to implement, how much time is going to take it to implement. Making, for example, a forum like that, it's a major thing. It's not really a thing like I can fix in the next 4 days.
Yeah.
But still, it's still a good idea, and it's still a thing that could help a lot of the community. So why not? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Just one. Remember, people are on the table, because otherwise it gets very, very confusing. I know that you're very excited. This is good. I want you to remember 2 things. Now we're going to take turns now, and we can give suggestions. Remember, there is going to be a workshop, and even after the workshop, there's going to be more of that. Now, it's very, very important that all suggestions are welcome. But there are 2 reasons why your suggestions might not be eventually be used. Well, actually 3. One is that obviously there's going to be many people that are going to be discussing about whether it's worth it or not. And it's not just about whether it's easy to implement in the programming way. Obviously, we want to keep the EduPlat platform as simple as possible. So if we start adding many functionalities, they're all probably going to be very, very good, but we don't want people to go there, oh, this is too complicated. Okay, so I'm already asking people, please be patient. When you go to a platform that you don't know, it's like when you use a new washing machine. I'm sure that every time you bought a new washing machine, you know how to use washing machines. Well, I hope most of you do. But the first time you would use a washing machine, it takes a little bit of time. So this is going to be the same. So please, the first time you go to the EduPlat platform, do go with some little time to test some things. Now, other suggestions, for example, eventually we might publish, but others we might not publish if we feel that eventually is going to complicate things. For example, this suggestion that you made is really interesting, but part of it cannot be done the way it is now. For example, as Ruben told you, you can already contact through the platform, like in social media, anyone. So obviously, once you contact one person, if that person is a teacher in one school A and you are working in the school B, then you can make contacts between schools. And this is very, very interesting. We want that to happen. EduPlat is about collaborating. EduPlat is about connecting, and we want to connect people and we want to connect institutions. But at the moment, the best way to connect institutions is through the people that are living. If you, as a teacher, you connect with another teacher in a school, and you tell your colleagues, maybe 3 teachers will connect with other 4, and then eventually the whole school will connect. And this is how it can really grow. Okay. Now we have many people that want to make comments, so just pick up your microphone and make the comment or question.
I'm sorry, but we can't listen to anybody speaking.
Okay, that's really, I know. This is a thing that we are, I mean, this can grow to a lot of places. And Alvaro already had an idea about that. So if you can share it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to repeat the question because it looked like your microphone was not there. Well, the suggestion more than the question, yes. And so what Pat said is that obviously, because this platform is going to be used by students themselves and by families, or by teachers that, as Ruben said, don't want to or cannot create an account. This is fine. Yeah, we want everyone to use. The deeper you go, this is like, I don't know if you've seen a matrix. Like, you know, you can take any of the color pills that you want. We recommend you to take the deepest in the hole as possible. You're going to have more fun if you go deep in the hole, but you don't have to. So say, for example, that as a teacher, I see an educational resource in EduPlat that I want to send it to another student, to a student of mine. What I can do right now is to connect to catch the URL and then copy and paste it, just like I did in the past with any other one. But Ruben is going to show you something, another way that you can do it even.
I'm going to show you a little bit of a thing that you can do, which I'm going to share screen. Let me 1 second. I'm sharing already?
Not yet.
Not yet. And I'm sharing already?
Yes.
Okay. So you have this button here, which is the share button. So you can do that straight away. So you can share it on email. So you can show this resource to anybody that you want. Share it on your Facebook, on your Twitter, on your LinkedIn. I'm not going to open it because it's not my computer and I'm going to be opening somebody else's Facebook and it's going to be a privacy mistake. But you can do it. For example, if I share it on email, it's going to open whatever you are using on your computer. In this case, Alejandro is using the Windows thing for sharing emails. So that's what it's going to use. If you are going to be using a Mac, it's going to be opening in a Mac, etc. So share button, share the results, which is Geometry Analytica, whatever you want. Even you can copy the link to the clipboard and share it in your own way. Okay. And I'm doing the same with the users. So you can share as well the profile of a colleague, because sometimes you say, yeah, this guy can be really, really good for that workshop that we are preparing, so something like that, okay?
Thank you, Ruben. Very, very good, very interesting. So it's pretty much the same icon that many platforms use. It's like the V for victory, but like that. Like, you know, from one person that knows something, 2 people get to know. This is very, very important. So please do share this. And to be honest, from the options that Ruben gave us, I think the social media might be the best. So if I want to share this with one person I know that is going to be interesting, since it's already public, why not share it with everyone? So as soon as you put it in your Facebook, for example, you're telling anyone that is connected to you that this resource exists, and eventually many people will get to know about this resource, but also about the person that published the resource, and obviously also the platform, so about everyone in the community. And this is the idea. So remember, we are still using social media as a way to help, but you know, the more that depends on how much you use these things. One question, Ruben: do people get more karma if they share resources that way?
Of course, no, you win karma for everything. Karma is like, anything that you do that helps people is going to give you karma. I think it's even a good analogy for what we were here.
So
You have a question here as well from Margarita. It's telling us when we are going to be able to share the web. So what do you think?
Oh, okay, sorry.
okay, now we are already sharing because this is going live. So anyone watching us can go. We're not saying we don't want to share it. You can share it with your friends if you want. But the idea now is that we don't want many people to go. What we want is people to go and actually interact and actually do it. But especially people that already have shown interest. And why is that? Because say, for example, that we publish this for everyone to go. Eventually, some people are going to go. They don't know anything about the project. They don't know. I mean, it might push them back because there's not many resources. Things are not working, etc. So during this beta period, that might be a few weeks, at least till the next Congress at the beginning of May. The idea is that we share it with people that we know that they're going to try. That we are telling them that the site is just at the very beginning, and they're going to give feedback. Okay, and these things are important. Eventually, and after the Congress, hopefully things will work well enough for us to tell the whole world, please go, and then there will be things to change, and there will be things that don't work and paths to improve. But obviously, we want everyone to be there.
Yes.
Just one thing, just say anything that you create now while we still don't have the domain linked to these numbers. Still, anything that you create now is going to be saved. So you can create now that you're not going to lose it. You can create an account or you can share resources and they are going to be still there. We are not going to reset anything. So anything that you do, you start to contribute and it's going to be there. And when we are ready at working in a proper domain name.
And this is also very important. I remember at the time that Facebook was created, I was teaching in England. And obviously, at the beginning, Facebook, for example, was only in English. I remember going, say, to Spain on my holidays, and my friends had no idea that this Facebook existed. Now, obviously, everyone knows about Facebook and not many other social media. But the good thing is that if you say, for example, create now an account, say, on Instagram, it's going to be more difficult for you because there are so many accounts and so many people that have created accounts before you that it's going to be more difficult for you to grow that way. The good thing for people that are starting now is that today is the day that we're opening it to the world. Although we're not trying to advertise it too much because, as I said, we want very few people that are really, really interested. It's a good way for you to start getting karma and go ahead of many others. I'm sure many people within 48 hours can get more karma than Ruben. Yeah, it's not that and he's not cheating. Ruben, you're not cheating with the karma, right?
No, I'm just using it a lot. It's just the best. So of course I have an advantage.
Okay, and remember that sometimes it's just like you get karma from publishing an educational resource. Why? Because you are helping the community. But you also get karma from making comments, for saying that you like things, from sharing what others have published. You get karma from anything that is going to help the educational community. Because at the end of the day, most of us are here so that the students, our students, and the students of others are better taught. And they're taught in a way that is more interesting. And this is very, very much needed, not just because of the COVID, but also because of the fact that students are getting attention from many, many other platforms with games and with, all this multimedia world and all this advertising. If we educators don't get their attention, we're going to lose them. Okay? And this is, the main reason why here. More comments. We're gonna take a 5-minute break in just a few minutes, so that people can disconnect a little bit. I'm hoping that from what you've seen that you get more excited. I'm certainly very, very excited with EduPlat and the idea of how much we can change. I said this a few times already, but I remember mean, I'm lucky enough that I managed to travel and I've learned a lot of how education works in different worlds, in different countries within this world, but they are so different that it's interesting. In one of my, sorry, one of my projects, and I did a tour, an educational tour around from Middle East all the way to South Africa. And I was in Lesotho, a country that is very, very poor, is one of the countries that, you know, some people call third world countries, although I don't think it's a good name. It's just a country that is, you know, developing seriously. And I went to help some teachers there, because teachers in some countries, they haven't managed to get proper training because there's no teacher training in those countries. And in some of these countries, it's surprisingly how old the teaching methods are. In many of these, and it's not just there, it happens also in Nepal, in India, in many countries. Teachers, what they do is they get students to get a book, and they ask them to repeat what they read in the book. And what is more interesting is that that method is working. And it's working because the students in this village that I went to see the teachers, basically they have just 4 trees, no roads, no vehicles, certainly no internet, no telephones, no smartphones, no many of the things that your students probably have. So these teachers are not competing with all of these multimedia worlds, because their students are really, really keen to learn. The brains are so thirsty of new information that no matter how you provide the information, no matter how you interact with that information, they get it quite well, and they are learning. Obviously, they could learn even more if they have better teaching methodologies, which is why we were there. But they can work like that, but we cannot. If we use old methods here, it will work. Now, the world is moving so fast that we don't know what's going to happen in 10 years' time. But what we know is that these coming 10 years are going to make a change of the world that is going to be more than the past 10 years. We teachers need to adapt. How can we adapt? We need to adapt our lessons. We need to adapt our educational resources. How can we do that if our time is so limited? We can do that if we collaborate. This is the only way. We have to collaborate. It's not something that is good and we get excited about and we can do better. It's that if we don't, then eventually we're doomed to fail, because we would not be able to cope with the many changes that we have to do to adapt with the ever-changing world. Okay, so any comments around the table or anyone online? See that some people have managed to connect later on. So if you want to say something here, okay. Well, no, perfect. Then there is no comments. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 5-minute break. 5 minutes, yeah, just 5 fingers, and you can do whatever we want. We're going to disconnect our cameras, those of us here, and we'll put a message. So if anyone can put a message in the chat, we'll be back. Say, should we make it a little bit longer? Say, should we make it at 29 past? Yeah, that's about 8 minutes. Yeah, that's like, you know, a long break. So 29 past, we all here back. Someone please put in the both chats in the Zoom and the in the other one. Yeah, I see that someone has done it. And then remember what is next. Don't go before we remember what is next is also very important. We're going to be presenting the collection of templates that we've been creating, and also presenting what is going to be the main workshop later this afternoon here that we have done to help teachers publish their resources. Okay, remember our mission in EduPlat, helping you teachers that helping other teachers and your students. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye now.